Who got the swag? Forward a man. Man, my Donna John go to check.
Yo, son. What is this? I'm out here in sandals too, man. Y'all bugging the fuck? Oh, man, it's cold. Alright, how we looking? Alright. So guys, vlog number 2. I meant to do these weekly, but the week after I did my first one, I wanted to do a vlog on the Nintendo Switch that I got. Let me go get that. Boom. I got the Nintendo Switch. Really enjoying it. Not a gaming channel, so I figured, I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just lay off the gaming videos and keep it kind of semi-regular content. Let me know if you guys want to know more gaming content just on some vlog stuff. I'll more than happily do it, but I didn't feel like introducing that just out of nowhere on the channel. But yeah, really enjoying my Switch. Zelda is fantastic, but I won't get too much into it. I'm not a game reviewer or anything like that, but I am a pretty heavy gamer. So as you can see by the title, today we can get a little heavy, man. But again, this is not, at first I was like, I'm gonna frame this kind of as a rant, me just go off, kind of informal discussion, but I was like, you know what, posting it as like a rant would kind of give off the vibe that I'm kind of like upset about it and I'm out here to, you know, lay down an argument against a certain thing, which that's not what I'm really about right now. I'm chilling, and I bump into the same comment all the time, and so I just wanted to offer my thoughts on it. And again, I know it's a select few people who actually vocalize this kind of idea, how Korean music is somehow better or superior to American music, and I know that's not a vast majority of people. However, I felt the need to talk on it because I've seen it in the comment sections of my own videos in the way that's like, oh my god, I'm so glad, or they're trying to like basically direct me to like go against someone else who's like, oh, this person's trying to, you know, shit on this rapper, tell them why this rapper is better than all these American rappers they like trying, using me as the guy to basically defend Korean hip-hop against all of its, I guess, aggressors. But I always thought about it, it's like, I'm not your guy, man. Listen, I would say about 20% of the music I listen to is Korean, and like the other 80 is other languages, and then just a lot of American stuff and English stuff, I would say, because there's a lot of stuff I listen to from like Toronto and the UK too. So I mean, on my spare time, I'm usually not listening to like K-pop or K-hip-hop. A lot of K-R&B here and there, but again, it's not a huge part of my life, despite the fact that I have 2 channels dedicated to Korean music, so I understand why that kind of misnomer would get there. But again, and sorry I haven't gotten to the point yet, but this is a vlog, so you know I'd be a little long-winded, so forgive me for that. For y'all who maybe are new to the channel, I tend to go on, and the structure's a little informal. I actually wrote a whole bunch of notes on my phone so I could get to all the points I wanted to, but I'm not gonna go like, oh, point number 1, point number 2. This is just to check so I don't forget anything. So okay, here's my main point. I've seen the argument that's like, Korean music, or maybe K-pop specifically, or maybe K-hip-hop specifically, are better than their American counterparts. So what I mean by that is, I've heard people say, Korean hip-hop is so much better and superior to American hip-hop. Korean pop is so much better than American pop. Or Korean music is just better than American music. And I mean, you can obviously hit them with the whole objectivity versus subjectivity, and everything is just taste oriented when you come to music, and when it comes to like music being good or bad, it's all, you know, subjective and individualistic. Yeah, we've heard all that. But this is how I want to do it. And my problem is not with people who prefer Korean music over American music. Of course, like, listen to whatever you want, man. If you want to listen to Girls' Generation all day and that's all that interests you, okay, do what you want. I don't care. But my problem is, they'll take an artist that's kind of like the best of Korean music, be like, oh, well, Korean music has Tiger JK and E-Sense as like, you know, for rapper, and Tablo and Code Kunst, and just all these amazing artists, and Rain, and they'll be like, and meanwhile, American music is just Ray Shrummer and Iggy Azalea and all that Miley Cyrus trash, and it's like, it's such a ridiculous argument, and because the comparisons are so off. You know what I mean? Like, to condemn all of hip-hop, basically condensing it to top 10 or top 40 material. They take what's on the radio, and apparently that's indicative of all of what American is. But when it comes to Korean music, they don't just use what's top 40. They use any obscure artist that's dropping the most amazing experimental material to combat the American side. So the comparison's not apt, you know what I mean? That's like me taking Tupac or Biggie and being like, oh, that music's better than Korean music, because, and using the representative of all Korean hip hop as like Doki or Young West or something like that from Make It Rain. Like, and again, no shot at those artists, but you know, they're just, you know, mindless trap artists. So that's what I mean. Like, let's be honest with ourselves, all right? Like, we have to keep the comparisons equal on both sides, and let's not act like Korean music on the whole has been super innovative. Like, I mean, if you look at a lot of Korean hip hop, a vast majority of the sounds produced in the genre have been done in America a long time ago. Let's just be completely honest. And again, this is coming from somebody, I love me my K-hip hop. But let's not act like all these artists aren't really just expounding on something else that's been done stateside. And keep in mind that your oppa and your unnie's favorite artist is probably American. You know what I mean? So to completely crap on the American scene based on a select few artists is ridiculous, because that's, you could do it the same way. You can do it the same thing to like K-pop. You can be like, oh, well, all K-pop is Gangnam Style or Hyuna, when that's obviously not indicative of the entire scene. And sure, there's a lot of, you know, mindless just dance pop stuff like from Twice and stuff like that, but for every, you know, Twice, you got a whole bunch of groups really making decent music out here, man. VIX is doing some things, man, and Big Bang, when they put their mind to it, is putting out some amazing stuff. Akmu too, Act On Musician from YG, doing some dope stuff in the indie folk realm too. So I mean, let's keep things honest and objective, and let's compare scenes. And then the whole better superiority thing is ridiculous, and a vast majority of the time it's honestly just insecure K-boos who, to reaffirm their love for the music that they enjoy, they have to crap on another people's music. And it's just not fair, because keep in mind, every time you crap on people who like American music, and keep in mind, there's way more of them than people who listen to Korean music. Let's just keep things honest. Every time you do that to someone, you're putting them in the same position as all the times that they've crapped on K-pop. Because I know, as a K-pop fan, and all y'all who like Korean music, K-hip-hop, whatever, that you've faced and seen your fair share of slander online. Let's not act. From, you know, other international scenes, I see it. Especially in the pop realm, man. So to do that to another scene is just ridiculous to me. And again, I know that a vast majority of people who listen to Korean music are not like that. But, you know, I felt like for a long time I've been, you know, having to hear this nonsense. And it became an issue when I saw it on a comment on one video. And I'm not going to point to the specific person or the video, because I don't want them to get flamed or nothing like that. But it's kind of just ridiculous. I mean, like, saying that Korean hip-hop scene is better than K-pop, or the American hip-hop scene, because the American hip-hop scene is all about drugs and violence. That's such an insulting view, an ignorant view of the scene, completely discounting all the amazing artists. And let's keep it young, because okay, you can make the argument for the 90s, oh, but nowadays sucks. I'll keep it new, and I'll stay out of the mainstream too, because you can easily be like, oh, J. Cole, Kendrick, everybody throws those two names around as like they're the saviors of hip hop and no one else is spitting out here. I'll keep other artists. Let's think. Bishop Nehru did a collaborative album with MF Doom, relatively known to. And again, if I start naming people who you don't know, these are names of people who are selling out shows, and you are just ignorant to the scene. How about Joey Badass, part of Pro Era? Nick Caution, also part of Pro Era. Kirk Knight, Pro Era. The Underachievers, Flatbush Zombies, these are just out of New York. Afro signed with R.A. the Rugged Man, who's a classic OG in the hip hop game. And these are all young people. Logic, for example, all young people in the hip hop scene, the American hip hop scene, who are out here spitting, not talking about drugs or violence. Look at Gold Link on some jazzy stuff, keeps it relatively clean, positive, great uplifting music, and great lyrical content as well. Who are not talking about drugs, who are not talking about sex and stuff like that. But you don't talk about that because you're only familiar with what's on the radio, and apparently that's the entire scene for you. And because you're obsessed with Korean music, and no other country can make good music, and nothing else counts, you don't know about it. So all I say is, before you speak and start comparing scenes, educate yourself. That's all I want to do. And then I'm sure by analysis and breakdown of this issue was super hard to follow and confusing, and I apologize for that. I tend to go off sometimes, and it's kind of hard to follow at times. But my main point is that, like, you're doing yourself and the scene and the genre you're speaking about an immense disservice when you dumb it down to a select small niche audience and then sliver of the genre to basically shit on it and to uplift another genre. And it's just ridiculous. And again, this happens outside of Korean and American music, because I see it happen within American scenes, rap fans versus metal fans, and metal fans saying, oh, it's all about gangster blah 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 nonsense, and they're just moaning and groaning over a beat. They're not real musicians. I see this all the time. But to kind of like shit on a scene based on language is just as ridiculous as all the people who discount Korean music. And to see for so long people ridicule me for being an American and a black person at that, for listening to Korean and Japanese and Chinese music, and ridiculing me for listening to music from a different country. And then to see it happen on the other side of seeing people who like Korean music crap on American music because they have these dumb stereotypes that they run off of, is just ridiculous to me. And I had to speak on it as someone who listens to both sides of music. Yes, I listen to more English music, but I felt the need to talk about it nonetheless. But yeah, that's today's vlog. For y'all who have made it this far, thank you, y'all real, for that. I appreciate that. I'm gonna do these, I guess, whenever I have something to talk about, but who knows? Who knows when that'll happen? I had the little intro there, the snowing outside, it's dead cold out here. And just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with this channel. You know what I mean? I have lots of ideas, trying out new things. And I figure these vlogs are easy to make, and gives you guys a little bit of content for y'all who are interested in watching something maybe a little bit longer, a little bit more long form content for y'all. So thank you guys for watching. More vlogs on the way, more reactions on the way. Working on the Code Cunts to review right now. That was the winner. Yo, let me talk about this. We did the vote down below in the comment section of the video of basically who do you want me to review next. And Code Cunts worked, thank God, because in second place was Bill Stax. And oh my God, if I had to review that album, it'd be a mess, because a good chunk of people who watch reviews don't want someone's opinion. They just want somebody to reaffirm their own. Because I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys. I hated that album. I thought that Bill Stax mixtape was trash. And that's just my opinion. And I would have broke down why I thought it was trash and substantiated all facts, and I would have backed up everything I said about it. But of course that's not good enough. If you have an opinion different than mine, of course I'm gonna be pissed about it. I'm gonna shit on you. So whatever. I'm so glad I didn't have to review that. And just know that project is among many projects that I just won't. I want nothing to do with. Like that, the future albums, that BTS stuff. Like I don't want nothing to do with those projects. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Till next time, this is JV here. I love you guys. Bye.